Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is Peter Barber. I am primarily a professional opera singer, music producer, bass vocalist, and host of the podcast Vocal Arts with Peter Barber. Something very cool. When this comes out, around the time this comes out, a full interview slash chat slash wonderful conversation with the man, the myth, the legend, Jonathan Young will be on my channel. So if that's available already by the time this comes out, it'll be right here. And if not, stay tuned. It'll be out very soon. So this is my first time ever hearing Caleb HYLES. He was recommended to me a bunch when I did my Jonathan Young Hellfire analysis. So listening to Caleb for the first time today, and I figured this is a nice way to tie him in since I'm very familiar with Jonathan, friends with Jonathan, and have analyzed some of his music. And I know they are kind of two peas in a pod when it comes to making music together. So it was about time. Guys, please do like, subscribe, comment, and consider joining my Patreon. It's the best way to support me as a creator, artist, educator, all that good stuff. This is a reaction and analysis, so I will be pausing primarily to talk about vocal technique, as that's where my expertise lies. And we will get into the analysis right after a quick word from the sponsor for this video. I've used therapy multiple times in my life to get through specific challenges. When things arise, it really helps to have a professional to talk to. Is something interfering with your happiness or preventing you from achieving your goals? Regardless if you have a clinical mental health issue like depression or anxiety, or if you're just dealing with the hard things about life that we all have to face, therapy is a great way to face these challenges. And therapy can give you the tools you need to handle these challenges as they come up. And that's why I'm excited to tell you about today's sponsor, BetterHelp. BetterHelp's mission is to make therapy more affordable and more accessible. And this is an important mission because finding a therapist can be really hard, especially when you're limited to find one in your area. BetterHelp is a platform that makes finding a therapist much easier because it's online and therefore it's remote. And by filling out a few questions, BetterHelp can match you to a professional therapist in just a few days. It's easy to sign up and get matched with a therapist in no time at all. Check out the link in my description, betterhelp.com/peterbarber. Clicking that link not only supports this channel, but gets you 10% off your first month with BetterHelp to match you with a therapist and see if it helps you. And because finding a therapist is a little bit like dating, if you find that you don't gel with your first therapist, you can easily switch to a new one at no additional cost, and you don't have to worry about insurance or anything like that. Like I mentioned in the beginning, I personally have used this service multiple times over the last 3 or 4 years to get through specifically challenging things, whether it was related to relationships or related to what I wanted to do with my life. So if you're struggling, consider online therapy with BetterHelp. Click the link in the description or visit betterhelp.com/peterbarber. And thank you again to BetterHelp for supporting this channel. Enjoy the video. And without further ado, let's check it out. Oh shit.
Right here, right now, I put the offer out. I don't wanna chase you down, but I know you see it. You run with me, and I can cut you free out of the drudgery, the walls you keep in.
You can tell how old this is because of how much shorter Jonathan's hair is. He's got the full long rocker hair now. So I know Caleb also does the high gritty rock belt stuff. So obviously starting at a point far away from that, you've got to leave a place to climax. I actually just made a video for Peyton Parrish and Miracle of Sound doing Valhalla Calling, and that's one of the only songs I know of that just comes out of the gate so hard with full-on power, gritty vocals. Usually you leave yourself a lot of room to get to a sort of climax, and that one's just like in your face. So here we're leaving some room here for them to develop into those powerful, gritty vocals.
Right here, right now, I put the offer out. I don't wanna chase you down, but I know you see it. You run with me, and I can cut you free out of the drudgery, the walls you keep in. So trade that typical for something colorful, And if it's crazy, live a little crazy. You can play it sensible, a king of conventional, or you can risk it all and see.
Right now, it's Caleb's almost singing it musical theater style. There's no grit whatsoever. And even doing some of like the voice acting and more speech-like delivery of text that's so accustomed to musical theater. It's amazing to me how well, I'm sure Caleb's the same, how well Jonathan's covers work. Just like take some random genre, like one of the ones that really sticks in my memory is How Far I'll Go from Moana turned into metal. And it's just like, how does this work so well? It's because he's really good at arranging music. He's really good at what he does. And I know Caleb is right there with him.
A king of conventional, or you can risk it all and see. Don't you wanna get away from the same old part you gotta play? Cause I got what you need, so come with me and take a ride. It'll take you to the other side.
It's still very much, there were just moments, moments, split seconds of grit on some of the higher notes, but for the rest of it, it's very much musical theater-like. It's good vocal fold closure. It's a forward, bright kind of sound. It's very speech-oriented. It'd be interesting to hear Caleb just do like a musical theater cover without any grit in the sound. Got, because I got. There's a little grit on the word got. Got and need both have, because I got what you need. So those are just E4s. So, very, very manageable. We're not into the high. This is like upper mid for Caleb, but this is not his high range, I assume, just from how easy it sounds.
The same old part you gotta play, cause I got what you need, so come with me and take a ride. It'll take you to the other side, cause you can do like you do, or you can do like me. Stay in the cage, or you'll finally take the key. Oh, damn, suddenly you're free to fly. It'll take you to the other side. Okay.
Awesome. Yeah, very much. But there's really very little of the metal style singing so far. I love Caleb's voice though. Wow, it's just so easy for him in that range, and the voice is so efficient, and navigating through both the melody and the text just with complete ease. It's just listening to a singer and you're just not worried about them getting it done at any point. You're just like, yep, this is really good. I'm very comfortable listening to this. That in itself, if you're just intuitively very comfortable listening to a singer, you can feel the intensity and still be very comfortable with what they're doing. That's what I feel with Caleb. Just a very well-produced voice.
You're free to fly. It'll take you to the other side. Okay, my friend, you wanna cut me in, but I hate to tell you, but it just won't happen. So thanks, but no, I think I'm good to go. I quite enjoy the life you say I'm trapped in.
Now, Jonathan is a natural bass voice. I think we have, you can hear it in our podcast episode, I think we speak at a very similar level. We're both natural basses. And you can tell the difference in the kind of darkness and huskiness and kind of weight to his sound compared to Caleb, who is, I believe, naturally a tenor, a much higher sitting voice than Jonathan. And Jonathan also is opting to go a little more breathy with his delivery of this first verse. Caleb had pretty good vocal closure and vocal efficiency throughout, but Jonathan's going for almost a little more sinister and like, what's the word I'm looking for? Shadowy, smoky. A little more smoky sound in the voice.
It'll take you to the other side. Okay, my friend, you wanna cut me in, but I hate to tell you, but it just won't happen. So thanks, but no, I think I'm good to go. I quite enjoy the life you say I'm trapped in. Now I admire you, and that whole show you do. You're onto something, really it's something. But I live among the swells, and we don't pick up painted shells. I'll have to leave that up to you.
there in that part of the verse. As he moves up in his range a little bit, he allows more vocal fold closure and more efficiency in the sound, more cut in the sound, and also musical theater-like, a little bit musical theater-like, especially when there's no grit.
I quite enjoy the life you say I'm trapped in. Now I admire you, and I also you do. You're onto something, really it's something. But I live among the swells, and we don't pick up painted shells. I'll have to leave that up to you.
It's funny, when these metal guys sing more like musical theater singers, it sounds kind of like 90s, 2000s alternative rock. A little bit. For me, that's like what I'm hearing most closely.
The swells and we don't pick up painted shells. I'll have to leave that up to you. So you know that I'm okay with this sound part. I get to play 'cause I got what I need and I don't wanna take your mind. I don't need to see the other side.
It's amazing how easy those E4s are for Jonathan, who's a natural bass. It's not extremely high in chest voice, but it is really high for a natural bass voice, to make it sound easy and to get really good vocal fold closure. Like, that takes a lot of vocal strength and training, and he's doing it flawlessly, of course. He is putting a little bit more grit in the sound than Caleb, which makes sense. As the song goes on, you want to add some grit, add a little more intensity, so it's tracking well.
I have to leave that up to you.
'90s alternative rock, I'm telling you. Ooh, listen to that orchestration in the background. Let's go. A little string instrumentation.
Whiskey, misery, and parties and plays. If I won't mix up with you, I'd be the talk of the town, disgraced and disowned, another one of the clowns.
So overall, sound is pulled back. There's less of a wall of sound, less instrumentation. This is kind of like a little, breakdown, interlude type situation here before we rev it back up.
Days, whiskey, misery, and parties and plays. If I won't mix up with you, I'd be the talk of the town, disgraced and disowned, another one of the clowns. But you would finally live a little, finally laugh a little. Just let me give you the freedom to dream, and it'll wake you up and cure your aching.
Wake you up. Whoop. So this, you can already tell, if you're used to hearing voices go into their low range, you can tell that this is getting towards the bottom of Caleb's range. A naturally lower voice, a natural bass voice, as you go down, it kind of opens up more and more. And for Caleb, you can hear it kind of shutting down as he gets down to that A2.
Freedom to dream, and it'll wake you up and cure your aching. Take your walls and
take your wall. It's like it's almost to the point where he has to push to get down there, as opposed to just like you could just shit it out. Basically, like if Jonathan singing the same phrase would sound very different. Well, maybe he will sing the same notes and we can flag it.
It'll wake you up and cure your aching. Take your walls and start them breaking. Now that's a deal that seems worth taking. But I guess...
Hey, finally get a little vibrato in there. A nice spin, as we call it in the album world. Some nice spin.
It's a deal that seems worth
taken. Very nice.
Start them breaking. Now that's a deal that seems worth taking. But I guess I'll leave that up to you.
This is all one take with the camera, so they really had to know that. I've seen a few flubs with the lip sync a little bit, but you've got to know the timing really well, and you've got to know the text really well. Doing one takes, that is so nerve-wracking, because you might get 3 minutes in and then start really worrying that you're going to mess a word up. I feel you, boys.
Well, it's intriguing, but to go
like the timing right there. I hope they
Well, it's intriguing, but to go would cost.
I hope they had a metronome. That would make it easier, which obviously we wouldn't hear now, but you can have a track you record the video to, and then obviously the final audio you put out.
Well, it's intriguing, but to go would cost me greatly. So what percentage of the show would I be taking? Well, fair enough, you'd want a piece of all the action. I'd give you 7. We can shake it, make it happen. I wasn't born this morning.
I wasn't born this morning. Yeah, put some. We need to get some fucking metal up in here.
I'd give you 7. We can shake it, make it happen. I wasn't born this morning. 18 would be just fine. Why not just go ahead and ask for nickels on the dime? 15. I do 8, 12, maybe 9, 10. Don't you wanna get away to a whole new project?
So Caleb, easy on those high G's, G4. So I think he is naturally a tenor voice. That's my take after hearing him. Jonathan's natural bass, Caleb's natural tenor. Jonathan has worked extensively to expand his range north, and has done an exceptional job. And Caleb has great low notes for a tenor. I mean, those are low A's. I mean, and they were coming out nicely.
You wanna get away to a whole new project, gonna play, 'cause I got what you need, so come with me and take the ride. It'll take you to
Nice two-part harmony here.
So if you do like I do, so if you do like me, forget the cage, 'cause we know how to make the key. Oh, damn, suddenly we're free to fly. It'll take you to the other side. So if you do like
So we still haven't gotten. I guess they're. I mean, I kind of love this combination of like just a little bit of grit. It's not like they're full on metal. At least not what I think of metal covers like they do, where it's just very gritty and super intense. They are really kind of like metal singers doing musical theater, and I actually really like it. I would love to see them hop on a stage and just like actually do it in a show, just to see how it would stack up against the other musical theater singers.
free to fly, it'll take you to the other side. So if you do like to the other side, if you do like me, to the other side, we're going to the other side.
Epic. What's crazy, you guys probably wouldn't have thought of this, but metal singing like they're doing here, or with a little bit of grit or whatever, pop singing with good vocal closure, all of these styles are actually much more similar to musical theater than opera. People often throw opera and musical theater in like the same kind of category, but they are so radically different, especially as far as vocal technique goes. People often don't know an opera singer, so if they meet me, I'll say, "Oh, I'm an opera singer." And they're like, "Oh, I love Phantom of the Opera." Not an opera, musical theater. That bothers opera singers sometimes when people make that mistake. Does not bother me at all. It's like, cool, you've seen a show. But musical theater style singing is much more similar to like pop, rock, belting, forward placement. Opera's all different. The vowel choices are different. The laryngeal position is different. The tongue position is different. It's so different. So radically different. So just interesting. It's just like, that's why like a metal singer like these guys can just jump into musical theater and they sound awesome. They sound amazing. It's actually much more difficult for an opera singer to try and sing musical theater. It often sounds like an opera singer trying to sing musical theater. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed. This is really fun for me. Caleb, what an amazing voice. And to hear him with Jonathan, who I'm quite familiar with, very cool. Also, The Greatest Showman, absolute banger after banger. Like, really good music in that show. Guys, please subscribe if you enjoyed this. Please leave a comment, anything else you want me to analyze or anything you have to say about this video or my analysis. And then consider joining my Patreon if I added a lot of value and enjoyment to your listening experience. Until then, I'll see you next time. Peace.